So hey guys, Aiden here, and today I'll be taking a look at the Rapoo KX Wireless Mechanical keyboard. So the Rapoo KX is one of the only wireless keyboards on the market, with the others being the Varmilo VB660M and the Choc Mini. So the Choc Mini was good, but I didn't like the layout, and the VB660M is unfortunately not available in really anywhere because it's discontinued and you have to import it from China to try to get one, very expensive. So I decided to go with the Rapoo KX to see if it suited my setup. The Rapoo KX is well built, with thick and solid plastic on the bottom and a brushed aluminium finish on top. It has a compact 60% layout with a row of capacitive buttons with tactile feedback and backlighting. The low profile keys also feature backlighting, with 2 levels of brightness. On the bottom there are 2 flip out feet, and the back has a dock for the wireless USB connector, a micro USB connector for use with PC, and a power switch. Overall it's a very sleek design, and feels more like the thin and low profile design of something like the Apple keyboard, rather than the more bulky approach of many mechanical keyboards. One of the biggest reasons for getting a mechanical keyboard is the typing experience. So that's first up. The keyboard uses KL yellow switches, which are the equivalent of Cherry MX blacks, so they're more of a linear switch with a moderate actuation force. However, I've found the switches to feel more like a mid-ground between the Cherry MX lighter reds and the Cherry MX blacks, so they're a bit of a midway, which might be in part due to the low profile key design. Typing has been a bit of a mixed experience for me, as while it's not been as enjoyable to me as typing on my preferred blue switch, it hasn't been bad, just different. I feel that if the linear switch appeals to you, these seem to do pretty well, as this board feels like a premium and more refined chiclet style keyboard with its low profile design, but instead of the pretty subpar experience of many chiclet keyboards, you get a pretty good typing experience with the longer travel distance, and it's pretty good for what it is. These switches won't appeal to everyone, but I can see them being really good for those who enjoy those linear switches. Another complaint which has been commonly brought up is the key spacing, as it's very slightly altered compared to most keyboards. At first I found I was making a lot of errors, but as soon as I adjusted, I found that it was not too much of an issue. The overall build of the keyboard feels very high quality, and it gives a pretty premium feel to the keyboard, especially at this pretty low price point. Since wireless connectivity is one of the big selling points of this keyboard, it's something which needs to be examined closely. Unfortunately, it lacks Bluetooth, which means that it can't be used with phones or tablets, but it makes up for this with the pretty small dongle which can dock in the keyboard for transportation. I found that the wireless functionality can be pretty reliable, with very few dropouts, and it's got a pretty responsive feel in general. The ability to switch to wired mode also means that when it's on low battery, you can charge it up and use it. On note of the battery, I found battery life to be pretty satisfactory, lasting around a week, and sometimes more depending on backlight intensity. However, for some reason when I turn the keyboard on, it'll give me a low battery indication even if the keyboard is fully charged, which I found rather annoying. Other things which I found annoying with this keyboard were things like the non-modular design of it. Removing the keycaps requires unscrewing the top plate, which makes for difficult cleaning and less keycap compatibility. The top row of capacitive keys is aesthetically pleasing, but functionally lacking. They're really difficult to press reliably, and that would be alright if it was only the FN row, but the escape key, which I also use regularly, is on the top as well as the delete key, which can cause a bit of annoyance. The backlighting on these keys is also non-adjustable, unlike the multi-level stage of the rest of the keyboard, and it's dimmer than the rest of the backlighting. However, while it has its downsides, the keyboard does have a fair few features and strong points, like the wireless connectivity, multi-level backlighting, media controls, adjustable height, and its overall compact and lightweight design, with strong build quality being on its side as well. So, I have mixed thoughts in this conclusion, as I think the Rapoo KX is definitely a really strong product. It's got some compelling value and really good features, and it's a pretty nice keyboard all in all, but there's a few little bits and bobs here and there which just make me not really be able to love it. One of the big ones is definitely the switch choice. because I like Cherry MX Blues, and unfortunately this only comes in the Kale Yellow switches, which is a bit of a deal breaker for me in the end. So I would feel free recommending this keyboard for a travel keyboard or someone who likes linear switches, but I don't think it will be staying as my main keyboard for my setup. So thanks for watching, feel free to like the video if you liked it, and subscribe if you want to see more content from me. And I guess I'll see you guys in the next video. So, I decided to pick up the Rapoo KX